Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. So today is part 2 of my August roundup. We are looking at all of the new things that entered my collection during the month of August, and we have quite a lot here. I did so good last month. I don't think I bought any new makeup last month. The month before, I think I bought one piece of new makeup. There was so little incoming over the last 2 months that I combined my empties and my new purchases. And this month we had to split it up. So now part of that was because I actually finished quite a lot of stuff in August, but I also, I made up for it, okay? I made up for it. I brought a lot of new stuff into my collection. So let's talk about it. We have some makeup, we have some tools, we have some nail stuff, we have some hair care. I think the only thing I don't have in front of me here is skincare, which is fine because I have enough. I am not in the market. I say that now. Watch me at my next roundup show you like 5 new skincare products I bought. We know that's gonna happen, right? I've jinxed myself now. Okay, so let's look at the hair care first. If you saw my Throwback 30 intro, which should have gone up a few days ago, then you saw me roll in both of these. This is the Joico Joyful Volumizing Shampoo and Conditioner. I have used both of these before. I have really enjoyed them. I used the smaller size, and so this time I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought the big ones. These are each 1 liter. And from my past experience, I've had one of these large sizes of the Moistureful before, which was a little rich for my hair, so I found I needed to combine it. I needed to kind of make a concoction with a clarifying shampoo in order for it to really be appropriate for my hair, especially during the summertime. But this one is much better for my hair. My experience with that Moistureful one of this size is that it's probably going to take me the better part of the next year to finish both of these. I've used the shampoo once now, and I have used the conditioner a couple of times since purchasing these, and I remember why I like them so much. So I'm excited about having these back in my collection. Okay, a few nail products. I don't know what got into me. I've been doing a lot of experimenting with my nails. This is the set I have on right now. I decided to try and make use of the little topaz crystals I rolled into my 50 Shades of Brown project pan. I usually only go for just a couple of little things, and so I just kind of went all out with this set and maybe got a little carried away. But in any case, I've been doing a lot of experimenting with my nails over the last month. So I picked up 2 new sets of nails. And the first one is the Prey Gel X. I showed you a box of the almond shape, the almond medium, I think it was, that I had purchased in July, and this is the long coffin shape, which is actually a little bit longer than I usually wear. Actually, what I'm wearing right now is a little longer than I usually wear. But yeah, I don't know. I was just feeling something new. I was like, let's do something new and a little crazy. And so I really liked the other ombre tips that I purchased from Apres so much that I decided to give these ones a shot as well. Before I started using the Apres full cover tips, the ones that I enjoyed the most were from BT Art Box. And my favorites of theirs were the ones that would come in kind of nude colors. If I wanted to do my nails but I didn't want it to take quite as long, those were a good option because they had the color built into the tips. And so then doing nail art on top of that, or even nail color, was optional. I haven't used the BT Art Box since I'm switched to Apres because I have really become so attached to the Apres. But I saw that they had these and I wanted to try them out. So this is an ombre tip. I don't know, I've just been into the ombre look lately, but the ombre tip is already pre-printed on the nail. As easy as these made the ombre to do, this is even easier. The only drawback I have found, and this is actually what I'm wearing right now underneath all of these crystals, is this set. The biggest drawback to the BT Art Box, they are a lot softer than the Apres tips, and so the edge tends to lose its shape quite easily. At least that was my experience with the BT Art Box prior to this set. Now, I don't know if they have changed it up a little bit, but these ones, the ones that I'm wearing now, I've been wearing these for over a week, and I have found that they are a lot more durable than the BT Art Box tips I have used previously. I have sharpened up the shape since I put these on, but with the BT Art Box before, when I was previously using the BT Art Box, I found that I would lose shape the day after applying them. So basically every other day I'd need to reshape the free edge of my nails in order to keep it whatever shape it was. If I was wearing a coffin or a stiletto or an almond, I'd need to go sharpen it up. So I think they may have changed the nails a little bit since I last used these, because these have been a lot more durable and I really actually quite like them. I do think the ombre that I get with these can be a little bit better, and it's a little more flexible because I can use any nude shade that I prefer, or I can use a non-nude shade if I want a more colorful ombre. These ones also fit me a little bit better, but if I'm in a pinch and I just want something quick, this is not bad. Not bad at all. Just a couple more nail things. I got these 2 little boxes here from Amazon. I think it cost me about $8, and I am using these to organize all of my little nail charms and gems and that sort of thing. I don't have them all put in here yet because they just arrived today, but I thought that $8 for 2 of these was a pretty good deal. They are a little flimsy, which I expect for a price like that. To be perfectly honest, I think if you were to pick up a couple of these from AliExpress or Temu, I think you'd get the exact same thing. It'd probably just be a little bit cheaper. But it's nice to have something like this so I can just see everything that I have all at once. All right, next. Do you remember perhaps a couple of months ago when I bought a bunch of Rephr eye brushes, and I told you I do not need to buy any new brushes for a while? Do you remember that? Because apparently I did not remember that. I bought some new brushes. So a couple of things. Here's a brush that I have 2 of these from Sephora. These are the Pro Foundation 47. I don't use these for foundation. I use them for cream cheek products primarily, and they are wonderful for that. I love them for cream bronzer, for blending out contour. I love them for blush, and I have 2 of them so that I can use one for bronzer and contour and one of them for blush products. They're also really lovely for cream highlights. It isn't necessarily the quality of this brush that so wows me. It is the shape. It is so perfect for this whole stippling dabbing motion, which is usually what you're doing when you're applying cream products. I love the shape and size of this brush. Here's my problem. They're not very well made. And especially for a brush that retails for $30, I really expect better than this. I have washed these brushes. I have 2 of them now. I've washed them multiple times, and every single time I lose a significant number of fibers, and I'm just not cool with that. I feel like if it's supposed to retail, now I've never paid $30 for them because at the Sephora sale, you can get all Sephora collection for 30% off. So I think that when I bought these brushes, the total came closer to $21, but still a $21 brush I think should be better made than these ones are. But I am in love with this shape. So frustrated at losing more hairs every single time I wash these. And especially because I'm using them for cream products, I do need them to stand up to a pretty thorough cleaning. You know what I'm saying? So frustrated with that, I on a whim, and probably, let's be honest, probably also late at night, I picked up a couple of brushes that looked similar in shape from some just no-name brand. These were very inexpensive. The brand is called Mange, which, do you see this? Which I think is a pretty bold choice for a brush brand. These you can get this brand on Amazon. This came in a little duo of 2, but from the product pictures, they looked similar to the brush that was frustrating me from Sephora. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if there's a huge difference in quality. I'm sorry, by the way, these brushes are all gonna be dirty. I used them all to put on my makeup today, and I'm just not committed enough to wash them just for you. So pardon that. But yeah, so it's a little bit smaller. The taper is it's not as significantly tapered. And I do really appreciate this very, very thin taper up top. This brush does not have that. I think that this brush has there are fewer bristles in this brush than this brush. That makes sense to me. They are of lesser quality. I have not lost any hairs from them, at least not yet. I am very careful as well when washing my brushes to make sure no water gets up into the ferrule and disrupts the glue that's holding all of these fibers in. But in any case, these are not quite the replacement for this. I was thinking that maybe they could be because the shape is not quite the same. So while these are fine in a pinch, they're not exactly what I was looking for. Anyway, this was a little bit of an impulse buy, but it was very inexpensive and they're not bad brushes. So, so far, so good with these two. Then about a week later, I think I had a little bit of a breakdown. It wasn't a breakdown, but I was so frustrated because I was in the middle of washing my foundation brushes. I have a few flat top and angled foundation brushes. And as I was doing so, I had a couple of them just completely fall apart on me. One of them was a ColourPop brush that has not even been in my collection for a year. And literally all of the bristles, like in one chunk, just fell out of the ferrule and then just disintegrated all over my sink. And I was so upset about that I think it was the next day. Was it that day? It was either that day or the next day. I don't know. Refer had really, really good timing to get me on this one. Either that day or the next day, I got an email from Refer saying that they had their new synthetic face brushes on sale. And I bought them on the spot. I bought them on the spot. I have been so impressed with their eye brushes. And I actually have one of their face brushes, but it's a natural hair brush. So this is their number 4. It's an angled cheek brush. I also use this today, so she's a little dirty. It's a nice cheek brush, but I just don't prefer natural hair brushes for my face. I prefer synthetic. I also, while this was a nice shape, I did find it a little bit prickly, just a little bit pokey. So when I got their email about their new synthetic face brushes, fresh off of the frustration and disappointment of having a couple of my brushes fall apart during washing, I bought them on the spot. And here they are. These need a wash because I used them today, but I really, really love these brushes. This here, that is the perfect shape. I feel like there's a lot of similarity to the shape of this brush and the shape of that brush. Do you see that? It's just the most lovely thing because it's perfect for a swiping motion. You can buff with this one because the taper is not so extreme that you'll get a lot of buckling in these back fibers if you try to buff. You can buff with just this part of it and it works beautifully. And then the stippling is perfect as well. There's just enough density and yet enough flexibility back here at the back part. You can drag, you can buff, you can pat. It's lovely. And it's also incredibly soft. Really, really love this. The set also came with a concealer brush. Now, the funny thing is, for the longest time, I refused to do my concealer with anything except for a beauty sponge or my fingers, because I just never found a brush that I liked under the eyes. I always ended up with more texture using a brush than with my fingers or a beauty sponge. The first brush that I ever really liked underneath my eyes was this one. So I picked this randomly up at TJ Maxx. It's the Zoeva 142 Concealer Buffer. This one had just the right amount of density and the right amount of softness so that I didn't feel like I was poking that really sensitive skin underneath my eyes as I was trying to blend it out. It also didn't leave any brush strokes or make me feel as though I was increasing the amount of texture that was visible under my eyes because of the method of application. This one I like every bit as much as this one and a little bit more because of this tapered shape. I just think it's really, really convenient for this under eye area. It is soft enough that I can absolutely stipple and pat things in, and it's also the perfect shape to blend out with more of a swiping motion as well. This is everything I loved about this one, but the shape makes it even better. Both of these, chef's kiss, just gorgeous. I picked these up in Refer's concept shop for $30 for the 2 of these. The regular price, I believe, is $60, but these are gorgeous. I really am so glad that they came out with some synthetic face brushes. These are everything that I would want a foundation and a concealer brush to be. So yes, while I have already purchased a stupid number of brushes this year, and I told you I didn't need any more, and honestly I didn't need any more. I could have made do with what I had in my collection, but I am so pleased with these brushes. I can't make myself feel sorry. It is what it is. All right, moving on. I have a lash item and a couple of makeup items. So in my I think, was it my empties? Yeah, I think it was in my empties video. I talked to you guys a little bit about the saga I had. Saga, that's very dramatic. I traveled this summer. The last time I traveled this summer, I did not fully unpack my suitcase. I thought I had, but I left a couple of things in there, including a pair of Bose headphones that my husband and I were very disconcerted to have lost. We couldn't find them anywhere. We looked everywhere, obviously, except for the suitcase that I was sure I had unpacked. Anyway, a couple of things that ended up in there were my lash primer and also my brand new bottle of Lash Links lash glue. So I had purchased this, I want to say in June, maybe? Was when it was. Anyway, so when I couldn't find this new bottle, I actually went digging in my basket of empties from the previous month that I had not yet tossed. And I pulled the old one back out. I pulled my old bottle of Lash Links glue back out. And I used this. I managed to get enough product out of it to use it for a little while longer. It finally became such a struggle that I went ahead and purchased some new lash glue. However, instead of buying another tube of the Lash Links glue, which I have been through many of those, I actually had heard a lot of really good stuff about the Lilac Street lash glue. And so I went and picked up a tube of that. I have used this a few times, but I put it back in the box as soon as I found, well, my daughter went on a trip, used my suitcase and discovered it. So all the credit goes to her. I never did remember to check the suitcase. So as soon as I found this, I put this back in the box, and they are very similar. However, I do think I was getting about, I'm going to have to test it a little bit more. I do think I was getting about a day longer with this glue than I was with the Lash Links. So I am eager to test it out a little bit further. I really do want to use this up first before I use this. But yeah, I think I was getting a little bit better longevity on this. Now this one is a little bit more expensive. So the Lash Links I get for about $14, $15. And this one cost me $20. However, an extra day of longevity for each set that I wear, I think that would be worth it. I think that would be worth the additional price. It really just depends on how long this one lasts me. So these usually last me about 3 months. So if this lasts me as long as this one does, I do think it would be worth the additional $5. Okay, now I've got some makeup. Now I have 2 items here. Both of these purchases happened within the last week. So I almost made it out of August without any makeup purchases, but I didn't purchase any makeup in July. I think in June I only purchased one thing, but man, I made up for it this month. I made up for it. Listen, I have been really good at staying out of my local TJ Maxx, but I went there to go get my shampoo, and wouldn't you know, I saw this from Pat McGrath's Bijou Brilliance collection, which was her last holiday collection. Now, I had gotten a couple of other things from that collection on sale, I think in January. Usually in January or February, she'll do a sale with her holiday releases. But I didn't pick up this one. I had wanted to, I wanted a better discount. And this was TJ Maxx, and so I got a really good discount on this one. This is the Bijou Brilliance Quint in Lunar Nightshade. This, I think, of the quints that she released in her holiday collection, I think this one had the most interesting color story. Oh my gosh, that's what it looks like right there. I have already used these 3 shades. No, I've used all 4 of these shades here. I have yet to use this one. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it for you because Pat McGrath just, her shadows make me happy. I'm not cool with a few of the choices that the brand has been making. I don't appreciate the constant re-releases of previous makeup. I don't appreciate the cardboard packaging for everything, but you know, still paying the same amount of money we were paying for the higher end hard plastic packaging she used to use. But at the same time, her shadows. So there's that first one there. What's this one called? This one is called Neptunian Orchid. Also, her names are fabulous. Then we've got this gorgeous, just smoky blue green right there. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And that one's called Noir Nebula. It has that black base and you can see the blue shimmer, but what I don't think you can see is there's a lot of multicolored shimmer throughout there as well. Just really pretty. The one here in the middle is called Pale Amethyst. Also really beautiful. Oh, Then the purple one, this is a matte, the only matte in the palette. It's called Midnight Iris. You know that's a shade that I love. I mean, I'm sure I could dupe that many times over in my collection, but that's beside the point, okay? And then last, here on the end, I haven't even swatched this one yet. This one is called Platinum Moonlight. Ooh, look at that. That is beautiful. I got this for $13 and I am more than happy with that. I do feel like until Pat, well, I might be speaking too soon because she has not yet revealed her mothership for the year. So we're all expecting that. I think that'll probably be happening this next month. So I may be speaking too soon, but I do kind of feel like until Pat starts providing us with more unique color stories or with products that feel more special, not just in the wider context of cosmetics, but within her own brand, I don't know that I'm going to want to pay full price for anything that she comes out with. Because again, a lot of the repetition in her color stories, as much as I love pink and gold, you won't find anybody who loves pink and gold as much as I do, but she's given us a lot of pink and gold. The repetition of the color stories and the reduction in quality of packaging. You've heard me complain about her blush balm stick, that it's ColourPop packaging is what it is. Until her products feel special again, I don't know that I will be willing to pay full Pat McGrath retail prices for any of her products. So I don't know. Her next mothership might come out and I might eat my words. We'll see what happens, because I do stan Pat McGrath. I am a really big fan of her makeup. I really feel like her products speak to me and my particular aesthetic. Her formulas work really well with the way that I like to do my makeup. I do feel like her products, especially over the last year or so, have started to feel less and less special, but they've still got the Pat McGrath price tag. You know what I'm saying? So I was very happy to pick this one up for $13. Speaking of makeup that feels special, I am not sure that anything could feel more special than this next item I have in this basket. This is something that arrived just today. I am wearing it right now. And this is the Ensley Rain Cold Moon palette. I have been dying for this palette. Ever since she was released last year, I have been dying to get my hands on this. It's been at the top of my wish list. That's a lot of money to spend on a single product. I mean, on the site, I think it's $73 before shipping. Although I did use, who was it? Leanna, I used your discount code for 10% off. Thank you for that. I appreciate being able to do that. So with shipping, that brought it down to around $73 with shipping. So that was very nice. And look at this. That color story it has me written all over it. I am wearing it today. I actually filmed a little first impression / get ready with me. Spoiler for that, the first impression was very positive. I think that video will probably go up within the next few days, but this color story is just right up my alley. And as beautiful as I thought that these shimmers were going to be, based on the reviews I'd already seen and the swatches I'd seen, I didn't realize how gorgeous they were going to be in person, because the camera, like the look that you're seeing on my eyes like this, as beautiful as it is 10 times more impressive in person. And I was blown away. Although I want you to understand my perspective is someone who is a newbie to indie makeup. I think I have 2 other indie palettes from Odin's Eye. Those are the only 2 other indie palettes that I have. And I don't have a ton of experience with multichromes. In the past, I've kind of shied away from multichromes a little bit because the unpredictability of the shift. In a lot of cases, I don't want it to change color. Whatever color that I choose to put on my eye, I want it to stay that color. I don't want it to change. However, I think I'm past that. I think I've gotten over my qualms because these shimmers are so beautiful that I don't care. I'm happy. I will accept whatever color they want to be because they are that gorgeous. Again, though, It's not like I have a zillion other multi-chromes from other indie brands to compare this with. So if you're someone who, for instance, has all of the Cliona stained glass eyeshadows or the other multitudes of beautiful multi-chromes and special shades from other indie brands, I don't know how wildly unique these are compared to those ones. All I know is that I am enchanted with this eyeshadow palette. Enchanted. This was a big purchase for me, but I'm so thrilled with it. I am so pleased with it. I can't wait. I'm wearing it right now, and I can't wait to put it on my face again. And that is it. Those are all of the products that entered my collection during the month of August. There was a lot. That was a fair amount of stuff. I think I need to cool it a little bit next month. Although all of the fall releases are just about to hit us. So we'll see how I do. We will see. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.